Hi, welcome to 7 Facts. If you like geography or history, this place is for you. There are hundreds of videos on this channel about this world's countries and states and history subjects. So please, do subscribe. Meghalaya, which literally means the abode of God, is one of the smallest states in India, both by population and area. It's roughly as big as Belize and has a population of around 3 million people. Nestled up in the remotest regions of India, the northeast, Meghalaya is, for the most part, still unexplored, untouched, and can feel like traveling in a foreign land, even for an Indian traveler. You may think Meghalaya is a small, insignificant part of the world, but you'd be wrong. Because you see, Meghalaya could be, at least partially, the place from which rice was born. To be precise, one of the competing theories for the origin of rice states that India is at the center of the greatest diversity of domesticated rice, with over 20,000 identified species. Northeast India is considered to be the most favorable single area of the origin of rice as we know it today, more specifically, the area that is today Meghalaya. Shillong is the capital city of Meghalaya. It's also considered to be a hill station, meaning it's a town located above the surrounding valleys where colonial officials used to go to escape from the summer heat. The rolling hills around the town reminded these European settlers of Scotland, hence they would also refer to it as the Scotland of the East. Shillong used to be the capital city of the state of Assam, but when in 1972 it was split up and Meghalaya was created, Shillong became the capital of the new state, while Assam moved its capital to Dispur. One of the striking facts about Meghalaya is that most of the land in the state is owned by local tribal communities and not the government. This land has been preserved by the communities, with some of it being conserved as centuries-old forests. In fact, some of the villages in Meghalaya boast of forests as old as 800 years or more. This has helped foster the eco-equilibrium of the state, while cultivating a sense of respecting the nature ahead of human development. By the way, most of these ancient forests are considered to be sacred, and from most of them, removing even a leaf out of them is forbidden. Meghalaya might be an Indian state, but it sets itself apart from the rest of the country in several ways. For one, 75% of the people are Christian believers, while Hinduism, Islam and Buddhism account for only 16% of the population. Also, nearly 9% of Meghalayans don't adhere to any of the mainstream religions, and instead practice their own ancient tribal religions. The second interesting fact is that in Meghalaya, English is the official language. There are of course a myriad of other local languages, but just so you know, Hindi is spoken by less than 2% of the people, and all of these languages are taught only as optional languages in schools. And thirdly, Meghalaya is one of the very few places on Earth that follow the matrilineal system, where lineage and inheritance are traced through women, not men. Ever heard of a village called Mausinram? I guess not. Well, this tiny village in Meghalaya holds the record for receiving the highest rainfalls on Earth. Their average annual rainfall stands at about 11,900 millimeters. There are of course other places on Earth that dispute this claim, but just bear in mind that the Guinness Book of World Records states that in 1985, Mausinram received 26,000 milliliters or 1,000 inches of rainfall. And just to be sure, just 15 kilometers from the village lies the town of Cherrapunji, the second wettest place on Earth. The situation is so extreme here that the people use grass for the roofing of their huts, just to soundproof them from the deafening sound of raindrops. One of the most beautiful places in Meghalaya and possibly in the world is the Nohkalikai Falls. This is the tallest plunge waterfall in India, dropping from a height of 340 meters. It too is located near Cherrapunji and Mausinram. Below the falls, a plunge pool with unusual green-colored water has formed, and the entire thing is surrounded by pristine forests, so you can imagine just how beautiful this place can be. Not so beautiful is the legend that surrounds the falls. In fact, it's terrifying. According to local stories, a woman called Nohkalikai used to live upstream the falls. She had a daughter, but her husband died, so she had to work all day long to raise her child. Her work required her to leave her daughter unattended for long intervals, but when she would be at home, she would spend most of her time taking care of her child. When she married the second time, she couldn't pay attention to her husband due to her work. He was madly jealous and killed the little girl, then cooked her meat and threw away the head and bones. He gave Nohkalikai to eat from this terrifying meal, but when she discovered what had happened, she went mad and ran off the edge of the plateau. Thus, the place came to be known as Nohkalikai. These were 7 facts about Meghalaya. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Leave your comments downstairs and do check me out on Facebook and Twitter. If you want to support me, consider becoming a patron. You'll find the link in the description. I hope to see you next time. Bye.